Live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network, bringing you the best Husker sports experience. Sports Nightly is presented by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Takes a handoff, keeps it himself. Adrian goes 30, 25, 20, 15, cuts back at the 10, 5, touchdown Nebraska. Adrian Martinez.
Huskers, Ani Evans fades left. Lexi for the match, and it drops. Nebraska sweeps Minnesota. Nebraska sweeps Minnesota. And Ani Evans sets Nebraska to its match point.
Live from the Acres Broadcast Center inside East Stadium, this is the Husker Athletic Director Show with Trev Alberts.
And thank you. Welcome to our show. This will be a monthly show with Nebraska's Athletic Director, Trev Alberts. What a treat for us to have him in studio, and for all of you, a chance to ask some questions of Nebraska's Athletic Director with the season about to get launched on Saturday for football, Friday for Husker volleyball. So we are going to be here for the next 60 minutes. And if you want to have a chance to talk to Mr. Alberts, it's 402-413-2400 with a call or a text. We're also up on our YouTube chat, our YouTube stream, and you can jump into the chat room and fire some questions at him as well. Welcome. 5 weeks, is that right? Is this your 5th week on the job?
Is that how long it's been already?
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think so.
Time flies.
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun. We're learning a lot and getting a chance to meet our amazing staff and coaches and diving into at least this is a boring time in college athletics, you know.
Right.
Greg. So not a lot to do, but no, it's a great time to be a Husker. It's always a great time to be a Husker.
We scratched our head all day to find some talking points to talk about. What can we exactly Okay, let's dive into this. And I'm going to probably start with maybe the most recent bit of news, and that was the alliance announced yesterday between the Big Ten, the Pac-12, and the ACC. What is this all about?
Well, I think it's about a lot of things, and I think first when you think alliance, the first part of your thinking immediately goes to scheduling and what does this look like, and scheduling can certainly be an important part of this, but I think beyond that, I think all of us recognize that the sort of fundamental picture of college athletic is changing, and what does that look like, and how do we craft and shape that and ensure that the values that we all hold dear and the collegiate model supporting student athletes is protected. And so you find 41 institutions that decided that it was important enough to create an alliance with similar values to ensure that at the table when decisions are made that these like-minded institutions have a very strong voice in ensuring that the collegiate model, as best we possibly can continue. And so there's a lot of details still to sort out. There's no signed contracts. These are 41 institutions that share similar values. But as you think about the changes that are afoot in college athletics and what the governance structure might look like, I think it's just a strong statement from 3 commissioners and 41 institutions that we share similar values, and we want to ensure as best we can that student athletes and the student athlete model continues.
When you were a student athlete here, Nebraska was a member of the Big 8.
Yeah.
Then the transition of the Big 12. What's your early impression of the Big 10 conference?
Well, I've been impressed. I really have. I've had a chance, just had another conference call today with several of the CEOs and athletic directors working on a committee that Commissioner Warren asked me to serve on. And I will say this, what I am impressed about is that the Big Ten genuinely cares about young men and young women, and that really means a lot to me. We talk a lot about the business of athletics. We're talking about name, image, and likeness, and we're talking about very important things. We're talking about the expansion of college football playoff and all those types of things. But at the end of the day, we're still in the business of serving young people, and that's important to me. I've been impressed with Commissioner Warren. I think as some of the news broke, about Oklahoma and Texas and their impending move from the Big 12, to the SEC, I was impressed with the speed with which Commissioner Warren immediately started working with our partners, both at Fox and others. And so, I think, as I said previously, we are really privileged to be a part of the Big Ten Conference. And I think the future of the Big Ten Conference looks very, very bright. And I think the future of the Big Ten looks even better when you think about some shared thinking and alliance with scheduling and other things with some great institutions in the Pac-12 and the ACC.
I wasn't going to go here next, but you mentioned NIL. We're now almost 2 months into that new world of college sports. Your impressions of what has happened to this point, and where do you see this going?
Well, I've been on the record, and I continue to believe that, student athletes having the opportunity to monetize their name, image, and likeness is a good thing. I mean, people often forget that students across campuses across our country have forever been able to monetize their name, image, and likeness. Student athletes haven't. So in a way, this really isn't a new concept. What is a new concept, though, is the fundamental shift and changes that it brings to an athletic department in terms of education and monitoring and those types of things. And when you think about all of the things that our student athletes deal with on a day-to-day basis in terms of high-level competition, their academic needs, this is just another parameter that they're working through. But, I would tell you that it's an uncomfortable space for me personally. There isn't a lot of definition. We haven't had clear guidance. There are some guardrails out there, but all of us are kind of navigating through this together. There's a lot of businesses that have popped up. I think some that are very well intentioned, others that may not be. How do we sort through that, protect our student athletes? A lot of this, again, is about serving the students through this. So a lot to learn. We're working through as an institution, how do we handle our university marks? I mean, there's some fundamental changes and shifts here that our institution is being challenged with. And what I'm most encouraged by is that this institution remains really unified in working together to help solve these problems for our student athletes and to help them and help our coaches. I mean, this is a very competitive landscape. And we need to be very thoughtful. We need to be a leader in this area, and I'm proud of our coaches and our team and how we're approaching it. We have a lot to learn. Our compliance office is being very helpful, but this is not an easy space for anybody right now.
Yeah. All right, let's get into a topic that's going to affect a lot of our fans, and that was the announcement yesterday from Lincoln and Lancaster County Health about a mask mandate for indoors.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Husker sports here in the fall?
Well, obviously it's going to have an impact, and so when you think about our indoor sports and you think about volleyball, we've got a couple games coming up here soon. There is a mask mandate, and the athletic department's worked hand in hand with Lancaster County Health Department and with our institution. Obviously, there are policies and procedures that Chancellor Green has in place, and so we're working very hard to comply with those and make sure that we have our standards in place. Our team, Matt Davidson and others who are just working so hard to make sure that our facilities are safe for our fans and students. So I think that you'll see those that are very obvious. I think what you'll also see is you're going to see some communication tomorrow relative to Memorial Stadium and how we'll handle football. There's a very detailed plan, so looking forward to sharing that with our fans and with the public. But again, just a lot to work through, and these things continually change and shift. And so, how we handle our own staff while we're walking around Memorial Stadium, what we're asking our student athletes, how they handle walking around, the training table and the academic support areas. So there's a very significant impact here, but obviously you'll notice it most immediately for our fans that head to Devaney Center.
This has to be something that keeps you awake at night because ticket sales is a big part of your budget for people going through the turnstiles. I don't think we have turnstiles anymore, but I'm dating myself there, Trev. But for the Devaney Center and obviously for football.
Well, it really is. I think our team did a really good job in terms of budgeting for this year. And the challenge is, you have defined expenses that aren't going away. And a lot of those are staff-oriented in salaries and wages and benefits. But our business office did a really good job of establishing a budget that was based on different scenarios. And so we have a very thoughtful process. If we have 100% capacity, and that's the good news right now. There isn't any limitation on capacity either at the Devaney Center or Memorial Stadium. That's really, really important. It's one thing to ask our fans to wear a mask and have a mask mandate. It's another thing if we get a reduced capacity. That's where the real impact is on our department. So right now, the great news is that we have full capacity, and we're hoping that continues. But working hand in hand, we've got a really good relationship with the Lancaster County Health Department. They've been very helpful with our team.
Buckle up, put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Let me segue from that to vaccinations. Sure. Are you comfortable with where the department is there? What's your philosophy about that? Where does that all stand?
Well, I will say this, and I'm pleased to have the opportunity to discuss this with you. It's an issue that really elicits a lot of strong feelings on both sides. The reality is this. I don't know, what did you mention? I've been here now 4 or 5 weeks.
Right.
My first couple days on the job, I can tell you that we were not in a good place in terms of vaccination rates. And I think through some hard work of our staff, I'm really proud of our team. Our medical staff and our coaches have worked really, really hard. One of the reasons why I didn't want to go public with any percentages is because I knew how hard our team was working, and I knew what was in place in terms of our student athletes, getting vaccinated. But our football program is 90% vaccinated today, and that's tremendous news. And I give Coach Frost an awful lot of credit. Once we sorted through the realities of what the Big Ten protocols were going to look like in terms of forfeiture, and it became very clear that this was going to have a significant impact. Our coaching staff worked very hard with the UNMC. We brought in all kinds of speakers, and most of it was about education. We do not have a vaccine mandate, and we won't have a vaccine mandate at this point. But the reality is, education was really, really important. We do have some student athletes that will not be getting vaccinated. That's their choice. That's their personal choice, and I respect that. But our 90% vaccination rate, I can tell you that on my call today, we did have full disclosure of all the teams in the Big Ten Conference, and I will tell you that the University of Nebraska is right there with the top schools in terms of vaccination rates across the board. So that's our football program, and that really reflects, Greg, the rest of our athletic department as well. So our student-athlete population has done a wonderful job of getting themselves vaccinated because we all want to create a path for them to compete, and we want to do it in a safest manner as possible.
Are you comfortable with being in lockstep with the chancellor on this? How's that been? Because he's obviously looking at the bigger body of students that are on campus, and you've got a smaller pie of that. Do you feel like you're in sync with him on all this? Absolutely.
Chancellor Green and I, and including President Ted Carter, are absolutely aligned. And it's one of the benefits and drawbacks, I guess you could say, of being a vice chancellor, and that's one of the benefits about the integration of athletics to campus. The reality is that what we do is in such a magnified way in athletics, and so being a part of Chancellor Green's leadership team allows for that integration. And so we are creating all of our policies, all of our strategies in lockstep with our campus. We just can't have two different visions because our student athletes are students. Mm-hmm. And so what we're going to ask of our students on this campus, our student athletes are doing as well. And so, but Chancellor Green also understands the unique challenge we have in athletics, right, in terms of a very competitive space. So having that kind of relationship, having that consistent communication is just integral to our ability to create, a competitive space where our student athletes are doing it in a safe manner.
The Big Ten came out earlier this week and had some guidelines of their own, including the word forfeit that did not appear last year, that if a team cannot field enough athletes to compete, that will go down as a forfeit. Are you okay with that?
I certainly am, and we voted in favor of that. I think that's what's fair. And I also want to point out, and I think this is very important to understand. Vaccination rates are really, really important, and we do and believe that they're important, and we're educating our student athletes in that area. The reality is, though, that vaccinated people still test positive for COVID. And so I want to make sure our fans understand there is a reasonable chance we could have a student athlete or two, or we could have a team as we go out this fall season that perhaps has a challenge and maybe doesn't get to compete in one of the contests. It's now no longer a no contest and a reschedule. It's a forfeiture and a loss. And so I think that's part of the reason why it's important that our fans and those who support our program understand where our vaccination rates are, because we could still have challenges with some of our student athletes, and it won't be a direct result of being vaccinated or not. It's a testing positive for COVID. So we'll work through all those things, but we have a tremendous medical team and a coaching staff that is all bought in, and people are doing things the right way, and we'll do the best we can to keep our students safe.
Sure helps to have a UNMC kind of a partner, right? Somebody to kind of ride shotgun with you on this whole thing.
Well, Dr. Gold is a personal friend of mine and my former boss, and I've spoken to him a couple times. He's always a phone call away. He's in a new role now, not only as chancellor, but working directly at Varner Hall with President Carter. But, UNMC has been such a valued partner to everything that we've done, and prior to my arrival as well, too. So last year, but We were all hoping that that was an 18-month stint that we got to sort of move through and it wouldn't happen again. The reality is I think we all as a staff learned some things the last time. I think we're more prepared and better equipped, I think, and hope to deal with it. But, you know, Dr. Hendricks, Dr. Kepsel, Dr. Cradaville, all of them have always been immediately available to help the Nebraska Athletic Department, Dr. Albers, Mark Meyer, Jerry Weber, our entire medical staff. And so what's wonderful about this is not the athletic department going alone. This is the athletic department with UNMC, with our campus, with the local health department. A whole lot of thought has gone into these policies. And I'm excited about what we're going to be able to communicate tomorrow relative to Memorial Stadium. I think we have a really good plan in place. But just like we learned the last time around, about the time we have a really good plan in place, if we continue to have challenges, we'll have to pivot and things will have to change, and we'll make that change because we're gonna keep our fans as safe as we possibly can and our students safe, and make sure that we create that path for them to compete because they have such a small window. We have to not forget about that. It's a small window for these young men and young women.
It's been many moons since you played here, but some of the names you just threw out on the medical side, some of those were here when you were playing, right? Jerry Weber was here. And...
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm pretty old, but Jerry's really old. Let's be honest. No, it's great to see some of the old faces, you know, Dennis LeBlanc, Keith Zimmer, folks that really served me and my student-athlete experience, still here grinding away, trying to help young men and young women.
You convinced one of your old friends to stay on a little longer. Pat Logson, who's been the senior women's athletic director, was going to retire a few weeks ago. She's still here. What happened there?
Well, I told her she wasn't allowed to retire, and she said, "Is that an order?" And I said, "No, it's not an order." But you know, there's so much to learn. Anytime you come into a new environment, and then with all of the moving parts and what we're dealing with in terms of health and safety, and you know, the alliance and the changes in college athletics, I really thought it would be good, at least to the end of the calendar year, you know, help me out a little bit, help me understand the lay of the land within the department and some of our challenges on campus. And so in typical Pat Logston, you know, fashion, she said, "Of course I will, Trev, I'm here to help." And so she's here as a resource, and quite frankly, when we do go back to the market and look for the next leader as a senior women's administrator, Pat's going to be intimately involved in making sure that we go out and find the very, very best, because those are big shoes to fill, and Pat will be a big part of helping us identify that person.
Very good. Trev is with us till the top of the hour. It's our monthly sit-down with Nebraska's athletic director, 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment or question on our Sports Nightly hotline, which is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy it online at woodhouse.com. More with Trev coming up.
Whether you compete on the court, at the track, on the field, or in the fields, winning isn't just a goal. It's a mindset, shaped, honed, and defined throughout the season. That's why farmers pushing themselves to be the best plant DeKalb brand corn. Wherever you compete, winning has roots. Perform at your best with DeKalb. Always read and follow grain marketing and all other stewardship practices and pesticide label directions.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense.
They're growing. Today, there are 1,000. And tomorrow, there will be 2,000.
Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, there'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, But when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.com. Get your life back with chiropractic.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Your team is on a 3-game winning streak, and you're convinced it's because you've worn your lucky football jersey and haven't taken it off. Not for work, a wedding, or even bathing. With Cox, you can actually wear it all season long because we give you game day coverage and content 24/7. So join us and dress accordingly.
Hey Husker fans, save Fan Zone into your Contour voice remote and enhance your game day experience all week long. Play games, win prizes. Cox, here for Husker fans 24/7.
When you're prepared for life, you get more out of life. When you're prepared, you spend less time worrying and more time doing the things you love. How prepared are you? When you're ready to find out, Emeritus is ready to help. First, we get to know you. Then we make a plan together, one that lets you enjoy today and prepare for tomorrow. That's what we call fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
From sprains and stitches to sore throats and sinus infections, when it's care that can't wait, count on CHI Health Clinic Priority Care. Simply walk in 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You'll get the quality care you need without an appointment, and you'll never pay more than a regular primary care visit. Get in, get out, and get on with your day. Find a location near you at chihealth.com/priority care.
Here we go again. The celebrating, the accolades. Ever since we added Marco to our team, our technology can't lose. Day after day, success after success, Marco's made our business IT a force to be reckoned with. The only drawback of being technology all-stars is keeping champagne away from the electronics. Find out what your technology could be saying at marconet.com.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
We're back. It's our athletic director show for the month of August. We're here inside of our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer, with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres solutions for every field. We love our setup here. We get a bird's eye view of the daily progress of the Go Big project outside of our window. Your thoughts about that in the future, what that's going to do for the department?
Well, it's really exciting. You know, it's obviously one of our top priorities, and my top priority here is learning about that project. We had some of our architects and construction management folks on campus today, so I spent quite a bit of time this morning going through that entire project. And you know, it's obviously a game changer for football, and you know, the change and the experience of those student athletes is going to be incredible. Not just from a recruiting perspective, but you know, all of the areas of recovery and all those things that are really important now at the elite level. But the next piece, which is really important to me as well, which I'm excited about and what we're working on, is continuing to raise money. We're going to raise another $20 million or so, and that's for the rest of the student athletes. And so, you know, what I've always liked about this project, it wasn't, you know, football specifically. It was, you know, an impact on all 650 of our student athletes. And so a real priority. Got an update on where the construction process is and how we're doing, and really proud of the project. Think it's going to be transformational, not just for football, but the entire athletic department. But we've got work to do. And so our team is working really hard to, you know, get out, and now that we've gotten through COVID, I mean, it was a really difficult time for the project team to try to execute a project of this magnitude in the middle, you know, of the pandemic. So fundraising and all those types of things. So we're working hard in that area, and we're determined to be successful. We think we will be successful, but the project itself is going to provide an awful lot of energy and momentum for the department.
In that same vein, in our chat room, they wanted to know if you had any thoughts about South Stadium, maybe putting a video board down there, and then updating the speaker system in the stadium.
So I have talked to our team a little bit about, you know, all of our facilities and trying to learn about, you know, what is our strategic planning around facilities, and you know, you're constantly evolving, constantly upgrading, and so, you know, I know that there are plans. I've already seen some initial ones, you know, in South Stadium, not necessarily approved, but there are plans. There's a constant effort to upgrade our fan experience and make sure that we have the type of technology that our fans expect. So we'll get through all of that. Like I said, it's been a month. I'm learning. But obviously we understand the importance of what those fan amenities look like. We understand the importance of making sure that football experience is one at a very high level, not only for our student athletes at the Go Big Project, but also for the very people who make our football program successful. That's our fans.
Dorothy Lynch, Homestyle Light and Lean Dressing, endless flavorabilities. 402-413-2400, the number to dot us up with a comment, a question, or fire off a text. Let's go to the phones. Down to Texas and Mike. Good evening, Mike. You're on with Trev Alberts.
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. Thanks for taking my call.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Trev, welcome back to Lincoln. Glad to have you back. Didn't have a lot to say. I just wanted to ask you and I realize this is not your call, obviously, alone, but with more and more venues requiring proof of vaccination or a negative test, how do you see the university proceeding? And that's really all I have. Best of luck, and let's get this thing back on the right track. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate you taking the time to call in, and I appreciate your question, too. And frankly, it's a question that multiple people have asked me, and I've received some feedback on that. You know, obviously, as you mentioned, this is not a decision that originates in the athletic department. And, you know, we have a university. We have a university structure and leadership structure. And at this point, the University of Nebraska has not chosen, you know, to have a vaccine mandate. I can't speak to what the future might look like. I do know that when FDA gave approval to the Pfizer vaccine, I do think in some respects that's a bit of a game changer in terms of how it gets applied. So there are a lot of nuances to it. Obviously, lawyers are involved, and we'll see where the university ultimately goes. And I think it speaks, you know, earlier to our conversation, Greg, and the importance of making sure the athletic department's integrated to our campus structure. You know, this is a decision that's really not an athletic department decision. It's a University of Nebraska decision, and it has an impact not only on our campus, but on our campus in Omaha and also in Kearney. So we'll see where it ends up going. I also am well aware that other institutions like LSU have issued a vaccine mandate. At this point, the Board of Regents in the University of Nebraska has not issued a vaccine mandate for attendance at our sporting events.
Mike, appreciate the call. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free, it's easy, and it's the law. On our text line, and this weaves into a thing I wanted to get into with, so this is perfect that it's being brought up by one of our listeners. Can we plan on paper tickets in the future for all games? As a season ticket holder, we like paper tickets. It's exciting, special to get them in the mail.
Well, I think we've heard, loudly and clearly that our fans are very much in favor of a ticket option, a paper ticket option. I do want to pause here and just say thank you to our ticket office. I'll tell you what, I had a chance to walk over and spend a little time with them and introduce myself to them and apologize to them. The reality is I think there's some extraordinarily hard work that has to go in on the front end. I do think it's going to help our department long term in terms of some of these changes, but Holly and her team have just worked extraordinarily hard. I do know that we do have fans that have not received their paper tickets yet. I also want you to know that they're coming. I want you to know that we've got about 30 staff members who volunteered tomorrow to show up at 7 a.m. This is a team that's been working from 6:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. I put them in a very tough spot by announcing we will have a paper ticket option, and I'm glad that we did. Nearly a third of our season ticket base in football requested a paper ticket option.
Yeah.
And so over almost 8,000 season ticket accounts requested a paper ticket option. So I think it's part of the unique culture that is Nebraska athletics. We then extended it obviously to volleyball as well. So just an awful lot of hard work. I'm really proud of that team. And you will get your tickets. Be patient with us. And I would anticipate having a paper ticket option as we move forward. The reality is we do need to move forward with some of the opportunities in technology. But we have a strong portion of our fan base that enjoys collecting the paper tickets. They're going to look a little bit different this year because we didn't have a chance to. We will get a commemorative ticket out to everybody at some point during this season, but I'm proud of our team and how hard they've worked in that area.
All right, this is coming. What about the streak?
Well, the streak is really important to me. It's really important to our fans, and I'm not prepared yet to announce anything about the sellout streak. I will tell you we're still making progress. We're still selling tickets. But what I would challenge Husker Nation and ask you to continue buying tickets and continue supporting us. This is really important to us. It's important to our football program. It's important to our fans. We have tickets to sell. We have tickets to move. Our team is working really hard in that area as well. So you combine an outbound ticketing, strategy and vision to protect our season, our sellout streak, along with trying to get all the paper tickets out. It's been a real challenge for that department, but I think we're going to get there, Greg. I really do. But at this moment, I cannot announce that we're sold out for football. We've got work to do, and I would challenge and ask Husker Nation to continue helping us. Ask your neighbor if they've bought season tickets to Husker football this year, and put some pressure on them because we want to keep that streak going.
Very good. Let's plug a caller in before our next break. Let's go to Papillion and Trey. Good evening, Trey. You're up with Trev Alberts.
Hey, Trev, long-time caller, first-time listener. I'm here to ask the important question that all of Husker Nation is afraid to ask you, and it is, when are we going to bring back old Herbie, the blonde Herbie with overalls? If you check out social media, it's consensus. Everybody agrees. Old Herbie is 100% better. We need old Herbie, and we need to bring him back as soon as possible.
Well, thank you, Trey. I appreciate your call, and I appreciate your passion for old Herbie. I understand, and I am aware of some interest in old Herbie, and I also understand that there's some other interest as well. So we'll do our best to sort through a lot of those types of issues and desires. We want to continue with the traditions as best we can. With what made Nebraska football and Nebraska athletics special at the same time. There are good reasons and rationale for changes that have happened previously, and so we'll continue to sort through those types of things. But I want you to know, Trey, that I'm well aware of the interest in old Herbie and frankly how it's applied through our branding guide. So we'll sort through some of that, and I do appreciate your love for old Herbie. I am also a fan of old Herbie, and he won a few games, so we'll see where we go.
That he did. You probably didn't anticipate that question coming at you tonight. You did throw some water on the overall uniforms that came out a few weeks ago. You had to tweet out and tell people, calm down, that's not happening.
Well, it's just hard, It's one of the great things about social media is, we love, I want you to know, I love social media. I love the fact that we can engage with our fans. I love that our fans can get involved. you know, I've said this many times, Greg, as you know, we don't have much around here without our fans.
No.
And so keeping our fans engaged, but it's also just shows the power of social media and how a rumor gets started. You know, you got to be careful. You can't believe everything that you read. And so we decided to have a little bit of fun with it. We kind of worked internally, and you know, there were some who thought, well, do we really want to bring validation to a rumor? Are we going to, every time there's a rumor? But since Little Red was involved, we decided to have a little fun with it. And my understanding is Little Red is yet to make a statement or comment. He's been very concerned about that. But we will not have overalls on our uniforms this year. And I'm fairly confident, at least while I'm the athletic director, I don't think that'll probably happen over the next several years.
Good. I'm glad you cleared that up for everybody. Hey, buckle up and put that phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. Need to take a break. 402-413-2400. More of the show coming up.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today we're tackling the issue of GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. GMOs may sound scary, but they're actually benefiting our environment and consumers. That's because GMO crops help solve specific problems like insects, food waste, and droughts. By selecting good traits from one plant or organism and adding them to another, farmers are safely using science to produce high-quality foods better than ever before. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense.
They're growing. Today, there are 1,000, and tomorrow there will be 2,000.
Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, there'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
There is no place like Nebraska. And there's no place that treats you like your home like Sap Brothers. For 50 years, Sap Brothers has fueled America's heartland and been a reliable partner to local farms and Husker fans across Nebraska, providing the highest quality fuel, lubricants, and propane, servicing your farm equipment, and welcoming guests into their travel centers. Visit www.sapbrothers.net. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit DeToe Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or DeToeSubaru.com.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a Husker fan favorite for generations, with tradition baked into every pizza. And now, Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi is back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.79 each when you buy 2 and a free Husker football schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Place your order for carry-out, curbside pickup, or delivery at Valentinos.com. Valentino's, proud to be the official pizza of the Huskers. Go Big Red.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, downtown, and the OG location in Millard. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot, with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Here is a before winter to-do list from J-Tech Construction. Let's start with windows. Triple pane window technology has saved homeowners countless dollars on heating and cooling bills. Siding serves a crucially important purpose, protecting your home and insulating it from adverse weather conditions. And don't forget about your roof. Designing your roof should be simple and painless, and J-Tech offers several payment plan options. One more thing on your to-do list, call J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
When you're ready to pursue a career-building college degree, go with the school you know and trust, the University of Nebraska. And if you need the flexibility, convenience, and affordability of an online degree program, you can go online with the University of Nebraska. With courses developed specifically for the online learner by our 4 regionally accredited NU campuses, it's a valuable online education for your very real-world future. Go to online.nebraska.edu to learn more.
Wait, time out, Mom. Instead of using ketchup on your hot dog, pour on some of this Dorothy Lynch. Good, huh?
Yeah, talk about serving up an ace.
Did you see that? She spiked it.
Yes! Am I going to be watching you play for the Huskers someday?
How about you get me some more pizza, and then we talk about it.
Share the tradition of one-of-a-kind flavor that goes with anything. Game day or any day. Dorothy Lynch, endless flavorabilities.
Summer's winding down, and soon you'll be back in the gym, sweating through hitting drills, getting ready for your best season yet. So let Shields help you get ready. We've got the hottest styles from Nike, Mizuno, Asics, and Adidas, and all the braces, knee pads, and training aids you could need. Volleyball prep starts now. Why wait? Shields, in-store and online at shields.com.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline is brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. We still have time for you to jump on board. 402-413-2400 with Athletic Director Trev Alberts, his first show with us. He'll be here each and every month for a show. The season has begun for your soccer team, and they've gotten off to a nice start. I know you had a chance to go watch their home opener.
I'm so proud of Coach Walker and those young ladies. Just off to a great start. You know, they had a couple exhibition games and weren't scored upon, and thought to myself, well, it's probably just the exhibition. Then the regular season started, and they still haven't been scored upon, and went down to Missouri and got a great win on the road on the SEC network, which was great for our program and expanding our brand. So really proud of those young ladies and their hard work, and looking forward to – he's got a great roster. Some of his best players are all freshmen. And what's really kind of cool is to see the unity of the team. The older players have embraced those young players, and right now they've got a team that's pretty formidable.
Fantastic. Let's go to the phones again. Jason in Lincoln, you're up with Trev Alberts.
Hey, gentlemen. Good to have you here, Trev. I'm very excited, to say the least. I don't think our glitch with the NCAA that we found out about last week would have happened if you had been here during that span. So I'm feeling really good and assured that you're leading this athletic department. Tell us, Trev, what do you think of the swimming facilities, and if you could give us a quick update on how the outdoor track is coming, and I'll listen off the air. Thanks, Trev.
Thank you very much, and thank you for your phone call. Appreciate your interest. And, you know, I have received a couple updates from our facilities folks, and part of what I'm really interested in learning about is, you know, what does the strategic plan of our institution look like? How does the athletic department strategic plan fit within that? And, of course, facilities are an important part of that. We're just now diving in as a senior staff into a strategic plan. I don't think we've had an updated strategic plan in athletics since Coach Osborne's second year, and so it's time. It's time. And instead of doing, you know, one-off ideas or one-off ventures, we need to have a real thoughtful plan for all of our facilities. And the hardest part about facility enhancements is when you don't do anything. You think that when you build a facility, then you're done for the next 40 years. Just isn't true. You constantly have to be upgrading. You know, Will Bolt needs new upgrades for baseball. And obviously what was mentioned here, you know, track was, you know, sort of moved because of the Go Big project. And so Coach Pepin and that coaching staff, you know, needed a track. And so my understanding is that the track project got phased into 2 phases, just like, you know, the Go Big project. A lot to learn. You know, you have to understand as the university, and I wasn't here, but as we all went through this pandemic, and not knowing what our revenue looked like, there were some early, you know, estimates that the deficit in athletics here could have been about $75 million. I mean, that's what we were all fortunately, by football getting a chance to play, even without fans, we had the television rights dollars that helped us. So we ended up at a $29 million deficit, which is very significant. But fortunately, we had the surplus funds at the foundation, which helped us navigate that. So I have had a conversation with Chancellor Green about that. I'm very passionate about both of the phases, phase twos, both that track and the Go Big project. We have to find a way to get those done. There are some economies of scale that will benefit us here. We all know what's happening with the inflation and what happens in 3 to 4 years if we don't get this done. A lot of it's tied to fundraising, and so I need to do my job there and our team. But I'm well aware of, we have some of the best facilities across college athletics. We also have some of our programs that don't have the best facilities. I think we're the only team in the Big Ten that doesn't have a dedicated golf facility. And so I understand the issues with our swimming and diving program. So we'll have a strategy around all of those. Give me a little bit of time. Our team's actually working on it now with John Ingram in facilities. We'll create a strategy. We'll go to work and execute it, and we'll have to do it incrementally. It won't happen overnight, but I understand the importance of what facilities mean to this department and, frankly, to our community.
Jason, appreciate the call. Valentino's Pizza, Poster, and Pepsi. It's back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.99 each, and a free Husker schedule poster. Add a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi for only $1.99. Valentino's, the official pizza of the Huskers, the way pizza should be. Need to take a break. We're back with some more thoughts from Trev coming up next.
You could win a 2021 Ford F-150 XL 4-wheel drive Super Crew truck from the Woodhouse Auto family this season. If the Huskers return the first or second half opening kick for a touchdown, Woodhouse will give away an F-150. New contestants will be chosen each week. For details on how to enter the Woodhouse Auto Family Kickoff Contest and official rules, go to woodhousekickoff.com. That's woodhousekickoff.com.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. On May 7th and 8th, Nebraska celebrated its largest May graduating class in university history. 3,594 degrees were awarded to Nebraska graduates in ceremonies at Pinnacle Bank Arena and Memorial Stadium. Along with receiving their diplomas, graduates also heard inspiring speeches from notable Nebraskans, including legendary coach Tom Osborne.
Want to get all the latest Husker news straight to your phone? Need to be the first of your friends to get the scoop on all things Huskers? Sign up for text alerts from Nebraska Athletics. Text Huskers to 83200 to get game time notifications and updates, breaking news, special ticket offers, and more straight to your phone. All the Husker news is just a quick text away. Just text Huskers to 83200. Standard text messaging rates apply and may vary by carrier. Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
It's Game On at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Preparation. It's the key to success on game day. And like your favorite Huskers on the field, you need to be ready right from the opening kickoff. Cenex has your pre-game routine covered. We've got your salty snacks, your sweet treats, ice-cold beverages to wash them down, and fresh tanks of propane to fire up the grill. Fuel your fandom at your local Cenex station. Husker Pride, powered locally.
We're back in our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. We're back with Nebraska's athletic director, Trev Alberts, for a few more minutes on our text line. Steve says, Trev, how about beer sales at games? There we go. Knew that would come.
So that's a topic and issue people are interested in, Greg? Is that what you're
I think
telling
so.
me? Oh,
yes.
Okay. No, it's. I'm well aware. Obviously, we just executed the Garth Brooks concert, and that was an interesting experience for us. There was a lot to learn there. I would just say this. You know, we've been very clear that the Garth Brooks concert and that experience was not tied to Nebraska athletics in any way or any of our future planning. I think the one thing, and I have had some conversations with university leadership on alcohol and beer sales at our venues. First of all, there is a little nuance to that as well. I mean, we do compete at facilities that the university doesn't own. We also have our own facilities. I think the thing that, just like all of this, is the name, image, and likeness piece that is now a part of college athletics really brings some, I'll call them opportunities and challenges for athletic departments that until some of that space gets defined, I think we tread very lightly as an institution. I know that's my personal perspective, and I'm not an advocate one way or the other. I'm just trying to understand what that impact is to our athletic department, both financially and others, what the impact is in terms of our students using our brand and marks, what those NIL deals could look like and how we manage those, what type of partnerships our students can engage in. And these are really big decisions that have long-term impacts on our brand. And, what some of the risk mitigation strategies on the institutional side will be relative to this. So I'm not trying to necessarily connect entirely name, image, and likeness to, alcohol sales at our venue, but it's a part of the conversation, and we need to spend an awful lot of time understanding that space before we leap forward into areas that we can't unwind.
Very good. Dorothy Lynch, homestyle and light and lean dressing, endless flavorabilities. Back on our text line, are you headed with the team to Illinois?
I am, and I can't wait. It's going to be really a great time. I'm really proud of our coaching staff and Coach Frost. I think we've had a good fall camp. I think the team is ready. Looking forward to see how our offense and defensive line fares. I think we've made a lot of progress there. But I'll tell you, Illinois will be a tough team. They've got a lot of talent. They've got a very good coaching staff, a veteran coaching staff, and I don't think it's unfair to say that this first game, there was a reason why we always played a first game that wasn't a conference game back in the day, because, old adage is you learn the most about your team between week 1 and week 2. You get exposed in areas that you didn't know was a weakness. And so this will be a challenge for Coach Frost and our players, but I think we're up to it, and I'm looking forward to getting down to Champaign and watching them compete.
Quarterback looks pretty good.
He really does. I've had a chance to interact with Adrian a little bit, and just a quiet confidence. He's clearly just a class young man. What a great young man. But I've seen him throw the ball a little bit. He's playing with confidence. Obviously, a lot can change in the middle of a game. And what we learn in football is everything is great when things are going your way. What defines a team is when you have a little adversity. And I promise you, in Champaign, something bad's going to happen to our team. And how we respond to that ultimately will dictate how we get this season started. And I'm confident they'll respond the right way.
Very good. Appreciate it. Hour went fast. Thank you.
Thank you.
There he is, Trev Alberts, with us here. He'll be here every month for a radio show and a chance to interact with all of you. We've got another hour, Sports Nightly, on the other side.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farmers Mutual of Nebraska has been a proud supporter of Husker Nation for the past 130 years. Built on teamwork and dependability, our coverage is backed by quality service and financial strength. Let us help create an insurance game plan that works for you. Visit fmne.com to contact an agent for a quote today. Farmers Mutual of Nebraska, always alongside you.
Walk these fields for 85 years. Grow deeper roots here. Know what thrives here. Bring in world-class genetics and innovative traits like Chrome triple stack corn hybrids and Enlist E3 soybeans. Refine it through pure local know-how and expertise. Do all of that, and the only thing left is the right seed. Hogemeyer. Learn more at therightseed.com.
When was the last time you got excited about seeing a new bank in town? Exactly. Well, that's about to change. Introducing i3 Bank. With nearly 100 years of experience right here in Nebraska, friendly service, innovative solutions, and a wide range of convenient banking options, i3 Bank has it all. Locally owned and managed, i3 Bank offers a higher level of personal attention that you simply won't find anywhere else. Visit i3.bank to learn more. i3 Bank. Intelligent banking. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Good evening, I'm Greg Sharpe. Here is tonight's Sports Ticker. The Huskers went through another practice session today as they get prepared for the opener on Saturday against Illinois. Another workout scheduled for tomorrow, and after the practice, the head coach will meet with the media. We'll have the Husker football radio show tomorrow night featuring defensive coordinator Eric Chinander. Last night on the Husker volleyball show, head coach John Cook revealed their captains for the upcoming season. Seniors Nicklin Hames and Lauren Stivrins will be joined by junior Kenzie Knuckles. The Huskers will open their season on Friday at the Devaney Center. Checking a Major League Baseball scoreboard, some afternoon finals. The Cardinals in 10 down the Tigers 3-2. The Cubs win game one of a doubleheader from the Rockies 5-2. The Astros turn back the Royals in extra innings 6-5. Bottom of the fourth in game two at Wrigley. The Rockies lead the Cubs 6-5. Top of the fourth, the Angels on top of the Orioles, who are trying to avoid losing their 20th straight game tonight. It's 3-2 Angels in the fourth. No score, Arizona and Pittsburgh also in the fourth. 1-1, Rays and Phillies in the top of the fourth. The White Sox lead the Blue Jays 1-0 also in the top of the fourth. The end of four, it's the Giants 1, the Mets 0. The Indians lead the Rangers 1-0 in the fourth. Top of the third, it's the Twins over the Red Sox 1-0. Bottom of the third, it's the Marlins 1, the Nationals 0, and the Reds Brewers about ready to get underway. And later tonight, the Dodgers and Padres will play in San Diego. Those are today's headlines. I'm Greg Sharpe.
Live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly on the Huskers Radio Network, bringing you the best Husker sports experience.
Kubik sends it past me, Gonzalez. It's over the net. Shut back by Stivrins. It's in. They did it. Match point, Big Red. 15-10 in the fifth. Fighting back from the abyss, down 2 sets love. Nebraska claims opening night against Ohio State. 15-10 set 5. My goodness.
Lauren Stivrins is a great leader, and Lauren was talking to those guys through when we were struggling, and she got them to change their mindset. And then I think Lexi led the way, and Nicklin, and so those are the guys that got to do that. Then it was fun to watch. We played Husker volleyball.
Sports Nightly is brought to you by the Nebraska Department of Transportation Highway Safety Office, who reminds you to buckle up and put the phone down. Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Here we are, Sports Nightly, hour number 2. Thank you so much for spending a part of your evening with us here tonight. Hope you enjoyed last hour. I sure did. What a pro
You think
he
he's
is.
done TV before?
My goodness, he's just
or media.
He's so smooth, isn't he? He's fun to listen to.
Yeah, and just took every question that I was monitoring the chat, and every question we kind of threw at him, he was ready to answer. We couldn't get to all of them in the time, but willing to answer and talk about anything that fans wanted to know about. That was awesome.
Well, we had callers waiting that could not get on the air, so once a month he'll be here. We could probably do a week's worth of shows with him and not cover everything that he had to say. What did he touch on? Obviously, the vaccination rate was a big thing that he threw out that's newsworthy.
Yeah, that's the big thing that people were tweeting about, talking about in the chat, that the team's at least 90%. That's a big news drop right there, and a big positive for this team to get to that point, because when you start talking about the testing and when you have to start testing an entire team and then just making sure that everybody's vaccinated, it's big. So that was people like to hear that. That's for sure. People
have a lot of questions about that. Is there a place we can send them to go find some information?
So I found out there, if you go to huskers.com, at the top, there's a bunch of tabs. If you go to Inside Athletics, scroll down under the COVID-19 information tab, Athletic Department Handbook, literally everything that you're wanting to know about, the isolation, the quarantine, what happens if a player is vaccinated but has a close contact. All that information is right there. You can read up on it. There's like 15 pages of information right there that has literally everything and that's just Nebraska's plans and just the athletics department's plans on this fall season and even into the spring.
Okay, very good. Because I know people, and there are a lot of questions. What happens if? What happens? And it is different. They do treat it. They break it down, don't they? If an athlete is vaccinated and test positive or unvaccinated test positive.
And the numbers on if a certain amount of the team tests positive, when does that kind of affect the entire team when you have to start getting tested, and literally all those details from vaccinated and unvaccinated, the time that you have to be quarantined, the isolation period, all of that is on that guideline. So it's a great breakdown of what the plans are moving forward. And it's like you said, it's hard for us. We couldn't get it all in. There's a lot of details in it, and that's, it has to be. It has to be very detailed process to make sure that these student athletes are safe and they're doing everything that they need to do to make sure that they're putting, the athlete safety first, but also that they're getting a team out on the field. So we could not cover all of it in the show, but it is right there. You can read literally every plan that's in place right now.
We could have done a whole show just on that topic, I think. And also I know people have a lot of questions about, when I come inside Memorial Stadium, do I have to mask? When we're walking the concourse, do we have to mask? There's answers coming. Nebraska's working on that and protocols for football because we have another week before the first home game. We do know you walk in that Advantage Center Friday and Saturday for volleyball, you got to put a mask on. You're just going to have to wear it when you're in there. Obviously, if you want to take a sip of a Pepsi or something, you can pull the mask down to do that. But be looking for more information about protocols for football home games later from Husker on Huskers.com. John in Omaha on our text line, Jessica, said, for an organization like the Nebraska Athletic Program to not have a strategic plan since year 2 of Tom Osborne's reign at AD, that is quite telling. So glad to have Trev. That's John in Omaha. When he said that, my eyes rolled back on my head because that would have been like 2009. So they haven't had a plan since 2009? My goodness.
Yeah, I think that, and that's one thing that he said when he's spoken, to other groups. When at the broadcasters thing that I went to a couple weeks ago, he mentioned that, kind of developing the strategic plan. So I know that's definitely high on his priority list for sure.
Jerry in Rockport, Missouri said, I think I speak for a large amount of Husker Nation that everyone is extremely excited that Trev is our AD, bringing expertise, professionalism, and stability to the athletic department. Go Big Red. Jerry, I think you're right. A lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, and just, the way he's handling everything, which we've said numerous times, just the calm presence and how he's kind of answering all the questions that are thrown at him and trying to tackle everything. He doesn't know everything yet. A lot of questions about the facilities. He's still kind of trying to figure all that out and research that and find out what's priority and what goes into that. And so he's learning. It's what you said, 5 weeks on the job, but he's definitely tackling it. And he is working so hard. He's up here constantly, all the time, his light's always on and trying to, get everything figured out and what's the best plan for Nebraska athletics moving forward.
Buckle up, put the phone down. It's a reminder from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. What'd you make of his answer toward beer sales? And I know a lot of people in the chat room wanted to get that out after the concert with Garth a few weeks ago where they did sell beer in the stadium. What'd you take of his answer?
Yeah, I think, again, it's one of those things where you don't just do it, right? It's a process to make sure that, you have all of the facilities in place. Like you think about where you add that, I know there were trailers, right, for Garth, but, it's just making sure that you have, it's not something that can happen overnight. And so you have to kind of, look into that. How is it going to be implemented? And then, there's just so many moving parts to it that he's not going to rush any decision, right? As that big, he's going to, make sure that he's got all of that. But yeah, that is definitely a big topic that people want to know about.
Well, and I thought he weaved it into that, NIL plays into his thoughts on this too. If you agree to do that, what's going to keep one of your athletes for showing up at a press conference with a beer advertisement T-shirt? And is that the messaging you want going out to your fans, particularly your young fans who aren't of drinking age? That's something I hadn't even thought about. Well, he mentioned that to us. So there's just a lot to this, more than just saying we're turning the taps on, which I know a lot of people want that. A lot of people don't. It's a very hot button issue.
And I guess we'll see, too, because there are stadiums, obviously, that sell alcohol, and we'll see how that kind of unfolds for them and their student athletes moving forward if that does become a case. But, yeah, it's just, so much new kind of changing this year. It's, not something that you can just do just because it happened a couple weekends ago it's going to happen this season by any means.
Right. And I know people are probably saying, well, they have it at UNO, which is where he was the AD. That's true. It's a little bit different scale here than that. So I think there's more to be thinking about that as well. Any other thoughts you had or anything in the chat room that we need to go back and cover that Trev maybe didn't get to that maybe we can handle? There just was so much coming in. And I apologize. We had some folks that were on hold toward the end of the show. We flat ran out of time and couldn't get everybody in. And we wanted to hit a bunch of topics with him before we let him go. But I apologize to the people that did take the time to call us and couldn't get on.
The sellout streak was, something that was brought up a few times. And as I think a few people have brought it up about, if it doesn't sell out, if something happens where the streak stops, will this maybe be an opportunity to look into maybe widening out some seats, giving people some more room? So that's kind of a hot topic, and really has been even before tonight, talking about the sellout streak. I think a lot of fans have a lot of interest in that.
And I thought he was kind of encouraging that the streak may live. I mean, he's like, we're getting close. We can get this done. Obviously, we need some momentum. Could use he didn't say this, but I'll say it, could use a win Saturday. I think that would ignite some people to kind of get going a little bit here. So add that to the to-do list for Saturdays.
Yeah, I mean, if they come out and perform really well, and then, people will buy those tickets. And then you go 3-0, and then, you're golden for the rest of the season.
You are rolling at that point in time. All right, here's what we have coming on the program tonight. It's back, the Big Ten Blitz. We're going to get into that here in a couple of minutes. We're going to hear about Rutgers' opener as they play Temple next week. We're going to hear from the Gophers about them. They get the matchup with Ohio State next Thursday, and then Northwestern will check in with the Wildcats, the defending Big Ten West champ. They play a week from Friday against Michigan State, so we have that coming up later on in the hour. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to dot us up with a comment or question or fire off a text. Valentino's Pizza, Poster and Pepsi. Well, it's back. Get 2 jumbo one-topping pizzas for $17.99 each, and you get a free Husker schedule poster. Add a 2-liter of Pepsi for only $1.99. Valentino's, that's the official pizza of the Huskers, the way pizza should be. We're back with the Blitz next.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Detos Subaru at 27th Street and Jamie Lane in Lincoln or DetosSubaru.com.
From Alfred Hitchfield, the master of suspense.
They're growing. Today, there are 1,000. And tomorrow, there will be 2,000.
Comes a tale of mystery and multiplication.
In a year, it'll be 365,000 and 3,650,000 in 10 years.
Wait a minute. What are we talking about here?
The dollars you get if you win Lucky for Life from the Nebraska Lottery. $1,000 a day for life.
What's with the scary music?
We do lots of movie trailers. Force of habit.
Top prize odds, 1 in 30 million.
A DUI is everything you didn't prepare for. You did not save for it. You did not train for it. You did not go to school for it. You did not raise your family or buy a house or get a job for it. It is not your life goal or a dream come true. You have planned for everything in your life. You did not plan for a DUI. Get a ride. A DUI costs more than you think.
Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You and your vehicles work hard for the important things in life. Trust high-quality AmeriGuard lubricants by Sapp Brothers to protect engines, equipment, and your investment at an excellent value, so you can save money for the things that matter more, like sending your future Husker off to college. Contact your local Sapp Brothers petroleum expert for more information on AmeriGuard lubricants. www.sappbrothers.net/petroleum. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Husker Athletics.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it is safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief, nutrition, or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Welcome to Ag Answers, where we answer common questions related to farming and ranching. Today's topic, animal agriculture. There's been a lot of talk suggesting that giving up meat is good for the environment. However, livestock emissions only account for less than 4% of greenhouse gas emissions, according to the Environmental Protection Agency. Also, by reducing meat in your diet, you're missing out on all sorts of beneficial nutrients like protein, iron, and zinc. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, downtown, and the OG location in Millard. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more surprises later in the season. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill. See you there for the game.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
Husker fans, stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Big Red on Facebook and Twitter. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding NU athletics, including game results, ticket promotions, and Husker prizes. Log on to also follow several sports-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Become a fan today at Facebook.com/Huskers and Twitter.com/Huskers to join and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world.
When you're ready to pursue a career-building college degree, go with the school you know and trust, the University of Nebraska. And if you need the flexibility, convenience, and affordability of an online degree program, you can go online with the University of Nebraska. With courses developed specifically for the online learner by our 4 regionally accredited NU campuses, it's a valuable online education for your very real-world future. Go to online.nebraska.edu to learn more.
Wait, time out, Mom. Instead of using ketchup on your hot dog, pour on some of this Dorothy Lynch. Good, huh?
Yeah, talk about serving up an ace.
Did you see that? She spiked it.
Yes. Am I going to be watching you play for the Huskers someday?
How about you get me some more pizza, and then we talk about it.
Share the tradition of one-of-a-kind flavor that goes with anything. Game day or any day. Dorothy Lynch, endless flavorabilities.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer with 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres, solutions for every field. We're back. Greg Sharpe back with you here on a Sports Nightly Wednesday night. Time to get into one of my favorite things to do each fall. We call it the Blitz.
Big Ten Blitz. Rutgers.
And here to talk about the Scarlet Knights, James Cratch. You can follow him on NJ.com. Rutgers coming off a 3-win season in year 1 for Greg Schiano. A lot of momentum really built, James. What kind of August have they had as they get prepared for the opener?
Pretty solid one so far. They really haven't been, there's been no injuries really, so that's the most important thing I feel when you're getting through a training camp, and especially when it's for the Rutgers and every other team in the Big Ten. It's basically the first training camp these guys have had in 2 years. This last year was so kind of quick and shotgun start in September. They've had a good camp. I think that the team is looking about the way I think most people expected them to look. There's a lot of more depth on the field. There's a lot more talent on the field. That being said, are they ready to take that next step and go to a bowl game again? I think that's still very much up in the air.
Lot of starters back on both sides of the ball. Like a lot of teams in the league, there's an awful lot of experienced players. Where do you think Coach Schiano looks at and says, we got to get better here? Is there a spot or two?
Oh, it's definitely 1A, 1A, 1B, 2 even is the offensive line. That's the area that I think really was the position group that when they came in, they identified as the place that needed the most work. They have to get better. And that's tough because it takes, a year or 2, 3 usually to develop offensive linemen. They're really in a tough position now where they've got some guys, they've got some young guys with some promise, they've got some veterans, but those young guys aren't necessarily ready to play, and those veterans are kind of maybe close to finished products, so they need to play better. They were better than expected last season. They've still got to take big steps forward, I think, if this team is going to win more games.
James, is there any doubt that Noah Vedrill's the starter?
Absolutely no doubt whatsoever. 100%. He is the starter. He is the best quarterback on the roster by miles. He will be the guy every snap as long as he can stay healthy.
All right, let's turn our attention, as I'm sure the team has, to the opener with Temple on Thursday the 2nd. Give me an early scouting report on this. What will be the keys in this one for Rutgers?
I think the key for, protect the football. I think that's the biggest thing. That Rutgers is a saying around the program, the ball is the program. They've got to protect the football. I think that was something that they were much improved on last season, but they had their takeaways in big bunches. The Nebraska game, the Michigan State game to start the season. I think they have to be more consistent getting the ball. They've got to protect the football. Look, this is a Temple team that is not terribly talented. I think they've taken a major step or two back from where they were when Jeff Collins there before he went to Georgia Tech. This is a game that Rutgers should easily win. First game, since Shiana returned with fans in the stands, people are going to be excited. An old Big East rival that you've traditionally handled. This is a game that Rutgers should not have an issue winning as long as they protect the football. I think that the only way they get in trouble against Temple is with self-inflicted errors.
Very good. 3 wins last year. What do you think? What would be an acceptable final record in the fans' eyes for this team?
I think 4 or 5 wins is about where they have to go. I think if they get 6, obviously that's the ideal scenario. You go to a bowl game. But I think looking at the schedule, I think there's some people would say, hey, we went 3-6 last year. You add the 3 non-conference games to a normal schedule. That's 6. You're going bowling. I don't think it's as easy as that. I think the Syracuse games can be tough. I think you can look back at last season and say, hey, yeah, they won 3 and they should have won 5. Essentially, they should have beat Illinois and Michigan. You can even argue that maybe they should have had a chance to beat Nebraska. But on the other hand, they had 7 takeaways against Michigan State. They beat Maryland in overtime with Maryland without its quarterback and its best defensive player. They got lucky breaks as well as had bad breaks go against them. So I think 4 or 5 wins, showing progress, maybe being more competitive with Ohio State and Wisconsin. I think that's the solid, acceptable season for Rutgers.
It all begins on the 2nd of September, 5:30 Central on BTN. James Cratch of NJ.com. James, as always, we appreciate it.
Anytime. Thank you.
Big Ten Blitz, Minnesota.
And here to talk about the Gophers, Andy Greeter from the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Andy, there's been some juice behind the Gophers and their chances to maybe take the West this fall. Has that optimism been shared in camp? What kind of camp have they had in August?
Yeah, I think, they've got high expectations internally. I think they're one of the most experienced teams in the country. I think everybody's kind of in that spot where a lot of guys came back with the COVID year. But, I've seen some numbers, and the Gophers might be one of the most deep and grizzled teams in the nation, and that's especially true in the Big Ten West as well. Yeah, I mean, they feel like they've got unfinished business. P.J. Fleck is 1-7 against Iowa and Wisconsin, and those are the 2 biggest rivals. Those are the ones that have been standing in their way. So, yeah, I think they have aspirations to win the West. I don't think that, many people think that that's possible, just given where they were in the Cleveland.com poll. I think they were 4th or 5th in that. But, the schedule sets up to where they could peak again like they did in 2019. They've got the Buckeyes in the first game, but then they have 3 non-conference games. All of them are pretty winnable. And then you look at where the schedule is in October and going into November, and they could be sitting at, something like 8-1 or 7-2 going into their last 3 games against Iowa, Indiana, and Wisconsin, which I think everyone projects to be some of the best in the Big Ten. So it could have a 2019 feel if things break the Gophers' way this year.
Andy, some issues defending the run last year. Do you think they've shored that? Do they feel like they've shored that up?
Yeah, I mean, that was their biggest issue by far last year is, they struggled against the run. I think running backs had over 8 yards a carry. They were just getting gouged left and right. And when you're giving up that much yards per play, yards per carry, it's happened at all 3 levels. And, they brought in 2 defensive tackle transfers who they think are going to be impact players for them. And they brought in a transfer at linebacker who could shore up that spot. They feel like the safeties that they have can improve. So, yeah, I think they got better as the year went on to kind of mitigate some of those problems that they had to start the year. But, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest question mark. They've got a lot of guys back on offense, and they have been successful on that side of the ball. But can the defense step up and carry their own?
You referenced it earlier, but opening on Thursday the 2nd with Ohio State at home, that's got to create a buzz in the Twin Cities, I would think, where I know the Gophers fight the pro teams for some headlines. Yeah. If you start with Ohio State, that's got to get everybody fired up.
Yeah, for sure. I think it gets, a lot of casuals' attention. And obviously on a Thursday, that sets up well to get more eyeballs on it as well. They've got to, they don't draw terribly well here at the U. But they've got 5,000 more season ticket holders than they had in 2019. They're anticipating a sellout for the Buckeyes game, and they want to ride the momentum of where they were in 2019 when they had 2 straight sellouts to end that year, the dramatic upset of Penn State, and then had College game day here for de facto Big Ten West title game in 2019, and just a great environment there for that one as well. So, yeah, they want to get back to where they left things off pre-pandemic.
I know the team I'm sure has turned their attention to the Buckeyes. Give us a quick thumbnail. What would need to happen to have the upset occur?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk about some of the issues that they have in the secondary. They lost one of their 2 starting corners to the NFL, and who replaces him? Benjamin St. Just is one of the big question marks going into the year, and the Buckeyes are going to have one of the best wide receiving cores in the nation, one of the best maybe wide receiving cores in recent college football history. So they're going to need someone to step up at the cornerback spot to try to contain some of those guys that they have in scarlet and gray. They're going to need to play a perfect game. The Buckeyes are a 2-touchdown favorite. They've got 5-star guys, as everyone knows, all across the field, and the Gophers are going to have to punch above their weight. So to play a perfect game, maybe get a couple of turnovers, maybe grind out the clock. PJ Fleck is a disciple of Jim Tressel, and he wants to run the ball. He wants to eat the clock. So if they're able to have 9-minute, 10-minute drives and force some stops or some turnovers on the Buckeyes, who are going to be starting first-time quarterback in that spot, that's going to have to be the recipe. It's going to have to be kind of a coming together of a lot of elements to pull off a shocker.
It is a primetime game on Thursday the 2nd, 7 o'clock Central on Big Fox. Andy Greeter, the St. Paul Pioneer Press. Andy, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep, thanks for the time.
Big Ten Blitz, Northwestern.
And here to talk about the Wildcats, Louis Vicaire of the Wildcat Report, the defending Big Ten West champs, and maybe as much loss as far as personnel, Louis, of any team in the West. How do you size up this team, and what kind of camp did they have?
Yeah, I think you're right in terms of what they lost. I've seen a lot of statistics out there that they lost. I think it's 66% of their production from last year, something like that. It's like 126 out of 127 teams in terms of what they have coming back. So they've got a lot of holes to fill on both sides of the ball. I think defense will be in good shape. They got a new coordinator, but I think people are pretty confident that the defense will be able to be pretty solid and, again, be the strength of the team. There's still some question mark on offense. They have a quarterback now. Hunter Johnson was named quarterback last week, but they lost Cam Porter, their kind of bell cow running back. So there's a little angst there about the running game. But this team is interesting. I think, to me, this is going to be a good litmus test of where Northwestern is as a program. Can they absorb those kind of personnel losses? Still, make a bowl game, be on the right side of 500, or are they going to, dip down like they've done quite a few times in the past, last time 2019. So we'll have to see. I think this is a good barometer of where they are as a program in terms of recruiting and reloading.
Louis, I was a little surprised that Fitz named his starter that far out. What do you think Hunter Johnson did to win the job?
Yeah, me too. Tell you the truth. To me, that was the bigger surprise, right? It wasn't that Hunter Johnson won the job. To me, the surprise was Fitz announced it at all. In the last couple times he's had quarterback battles, we don't find out till game day. So this time he decided to do it early. And he talked last week that it was, just consistency, that he came out, Hunter Johnson was number one coming out of last spring, and that this fall they said if he had been in the same spot after 2 weeks, that they were just going to call it then. I'm still surprised he told us about it. I thought maybe he'd tell the team, but not us. So I was kind of surprised that he told the media. And I think a little bit is to build confidence in Hunter Johnson. He had a rough 2019, didn't attempt to pass or run the ball at all last year. He just came in a couple times and mop up duty. So I think it was build a little confidence in him and, I was just as surprised as you that he did it, though.
All right, the opener is a week from Friday the 3rd against Michigan State. Give me a thumb sketch look at that matchup.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting one because Michigan State, they've got so many transfers that came in under Mel Tucker this year, so not quite sure what to expect there. And you got a lot of holes to fill for Northwestern, too. And this is a revenge game for Northwestern because they went up there to East Lansing last year and really laid an egg. That was their only bad loss of the season, right, that they were cruising along. I think they were number 8 in the first college playoff rankings. They were like 6-0, and then they went up there and just laid an egg and got beat pretty good by Michigan State with Rocky Lombardi, who was like a statue in the backfield, ran all over them. He had big third down plays where he was scrambling for yardage, and they just came up with a clunker that day. So I think they want to kind of redeem themselves, exact the measure of revenge. But that's going to be a tough game. It's an interesting game. I don't think they know a lot about what to expect from Michigan State, and I don't think Michigan State knows a whole lot of what to expect from Northwestern either. So it's going to be, we're going to find out a whole lot about this team on opening night.
Friday, September 3rd, 8 o'clock Central on ESPN. The Wildcats hosting Michigan State. Louis Vicaire from the Wildcat Report. Louis, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Greg. Appreciate it.
There we go. That's this week's edition of The Blitz. Louis and all of our contributors appear with us on our Sports Nightly hotline, brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first. 18 brands, 16 convenient locations. Simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, and buy online at woodhouse.com. All right, phone lines back open for you, 402-413-2400. If you want to fire up a call or a text, Jessica will rejoin me next.
From vintage sneakers to bacon-scented soap to water fountains for your pet, all can be had with a few simple clicks. Problem is, you never really know what you're going to get until they show up at your door. Introducing Ford Blue Advantage. It's used car buying that's built for you. Not only can you shop for used vehicles online, in person, or both, you can also test drive before you buy, so you know exactly what you're getting. Plus, get history reports, vehicle inspections, Ford warranties, and the expertise of factory-trained techs. Visit FordBlueAdvantage.com today.
Triple B Feed has the products to help your cows thrive. Whether it's weekly delivery of consumption-controlled Lumix liquid minerals with protein or Redmond natural mineral salt for livestock or humans, Triple B has you covered. Let Brian and Brad Blahorn take some of the stress out of your beef production this year. For more information and other products, visit triplebfeed.com. Triple B Feed, helping you and your cattle.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. Nebraska is one of the best schools in America for student Fulbright scholars. 2021 marks the 4th time that the university has been named a top producing institution by the Fulbright program. Of the 30 Huskers who applied this past year, 10 were offered the prestigious Fulbright. An additional 16 Huskers were named semifinalists.
Welcome to Ag Answers. Today we're talking about renewable biofuels like corn ethanol and soy biodiesel. Electric vehicles continue to make headlines as we look for ways to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. But did you know by using ethanol, you can reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 46% compared to traditional gasoline and by up to 86% when you use biodiesel compared to petroleum diesel? Locally produced biofuels are the here and now solution to combating climate change. They are good for our air, good for our wallets, and good for Nebraska. This message is brought to you by Nebraska's corn and soybean farmers.
Stay up to date with the most current and latest news by following the Huskers on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and more. These social media homes provide the fastest daily updates on everything surrounding Nebraska athletics, including game times, results, ticket promotions, prize giveaways, and more. Log on to also follow several sport-specific pages and Husker head coaches. Join today and interact with thousands of Husker fans around the world. Visit huskers.com/social media to see all of our accounts.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Sometimes being an office printer feels like I'm competing in an Olympic sport. Thankfully, I have Marco's Managed Print Services on my team. Marco's game plan helps me make big plays while saving big bucks. And Marco's lightning fast tech support gets me back in the game fast. I'm up. Find out what your printers could be saying with Marco's Managed Print Services at marconet.com.
Your team is on a 3-game winning streak, and you're convinced it's because you've worn your lucky football jersey and haven't taken it off. Not for work, a wedding, or even bathing. With Cox, you can actually wear it all season long because we give you game day coverage and content 24/7. So join us and dress accordingly.
Hey Husker fans, save Fan Zone into your Contour Voice remote and enhance your game day experience all week long. Play games, win prizes. Cox, here for Husker fans 24/7.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Did you ever buy something and get more than you expected? Emeritus offers insurance, employee benefits, and financial services, but we deliver so much more. The comfort of a human voice when you need it, the confidence of flashing a beautiful smile, the relief that your family can keep living the life they love, the serenity of knowing you've planned well and can enjoy life. That's what we really deliver. We call it fulfilling life. Emeritus, insurance, employee benefits, financial services, and much more.
When you're ready to pursue a career-building college degree, go with the school you know and trust, the University of Nebraska. And if you need the flexibility, convenience, and affordability of an online degree program, you can go online with the University of Nebraska. With courses developed specifically for the online learner by our 4 regionally accredited NU campuses, it's a valuable online education for your very real-world future. Go to online.nebraska.edu to learn more.
It's game on at Sid Dillon Buick GMC Cadillac in Fremont, featuring our winning combination of Buick SUVs and GMC trucks and SUVs. And as a GMC Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles for your business needs. For the convenient and easy way to shop for your next vehicle, just visit our Fremont location or check out our full inventory at SidDillonBuickGMC.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
We are professional grade.
Our Sports Nightly Hotline brought to you by the Woodhouse Auto Family. Shop Woodhouse first, 18 brands, 16 convenient locations, simplified car buying to save you time. Shop, finance, buy online at woodhouse.com. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody with you Wednesday night Sports Nightly here on the Huskers Radio Network, 402-413-2400. The number to dot us up with a comment or question or fire off a text if you have some thoughts about what you heard from the athletic director last hour. Love to hear that. If you have some questions about the matchup in 3 days, the Huskers and the Fighting Illini, we can certainly get into that. Programming note, we will have Eric Chenander in studio tomorrow night for our football show in hour number 2. We'll hear from the defensive coordinator as he gets ready to try to slow down the Illini in Saturday's game. People are starting to get fired up for this one.
Yes, you can tell. The countdown is down to 200,000 seconds now. We've been counting it down, so it is closer. You can get a feel for it now. But we do have some interesting questions. What will be the biggest challenge this weekend versus Illinois? That one from Sean Creeman. And to me, it's the unknown a little bit. We've heard the coaching staff talking about Bielema, not necessarily what they're going to do offensively or defensively, but how he's going to manage this game. Is he going to try to slow it down and time management? What's he going to do in certain situations? And so that, to me, would be the biggest challenge. And you got to be prepared for a lot of different things and be able to adjust on the fly for things that you might not have prepared for or seen or really broken down on film.
That's exactly right. And there will be surprises. And even Trev last hour made the comment that, he said football's a game of disappointments. And he said there'll be something that happens that's negative Saturday, and it's how do you react to that? Can you overcome that, put it behind you, and move on to the next thing? But he said there will be obstacles in front of this team. I want to know, Brett Bielema's teams in the past have huddled. Do they huddle? I mean, you don't see that very often in college football anymore. They did when he was at Wisconsin to a certain degree, so will they do that? I think the bigger challenge is, can we stop their run game? They gashed Nebraska last year. 2 backs over 100 yards rushing in that game here in Lincoln. Nebraska's got to be able to stop that run game, get off the field, and get the ball back to Adrian and the offense.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much unknown, and we'll learn a lot. As everyone keeps saying, we'll learn a lot about this football team. We've heard the defensive line, how much better they are and the depth that they have, because as you mentioned, it's going to be hot and probably going to need a lot of bodies out there on Saturday. So that will absolutely be key, especially if we're talking about the clock management and trying to slow things down. You got to be able to not let them just ground and pound and, slow things down and pick up, as a lot of people have said, 3 yards here, 3 yards here, 3 yards here, and pick up the first down. So here's an interesting one. Greg and Jessica, which do you buy the most? Adrian Martinez will take a big step forward this year. The offensive line this year is better than last year, or the Nebraska secondary lead the league in interceptions.
Ooh, which one of those 3?
Do you buy the most?
Give them to me again. Secondary with picks.
The offensive line this year is better than last year. The Nebraska secondary lead the league this year in interceptions, and Adrian Martinez will take a big step forward this year.
I'll go with Adrian. I just have a lot of confidence in him. I like the way he looks. I like the confidence that he has. He got benched last year, so I don't think that happens to him this year. So I'll go with that. I think Adrian's set up for a big year. And Jessica, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I'm rooting hard for him because I just really like that young man a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I probably would have picked that, but for the sake of different conversation, I'll go with the offensive line. I think that even though they lost a couple of guys, NFL-type guys, that they built the depth there. The depth being the key there. They had some young guys get some big experience. You take a lot away from getting some of that game-time experience that they had last year, especially at the end of the season. The way that they've been had a lot of tough battle in fall camp going up against the Nebraska defensive line. I think they're going to be prepared for a big-time battle. So I'm going to go with the offensive line. I think there's some big-time talent that they've recruited well there. As we've heard a lot of the former offensive linemen say, they're really excited about a few guys that are on that line. So I'll go with the offensive line is more improved this year.
Okay. I want to see these young backs. I want to see them take pressure off Adrian so that our best running plays aren't coming from Adrian. You want Adrian to pick up good yards when it's needed to be, but you don't want to have to rely on him because they're pretty green behind him. Logan and Heinrich are young players behind him. You want to be able to ease them into this thing, and the ability to have backs pick up yards, not Adrian, will be huge. And that goes back to your offensive line. They better be good up front.
I think for me, a lot of people are really, really interested to see who's going to be the starting running back and who's going to run up there. To me, that's not the biggest question because I think they have 3 guys, as we've heard, that are going to be able, to be the bell cow, as we've heard a lot about. There's talent in that room. There's depth in the room. To me, I'm anxious to see the wide receivers. Again, I think they have a lot of talent there, but you got to go get it done on Saturday. And so who's going to be the guy that really emerges and is kind of the star on Saturday? I mean, I think the tight ends are going to be a big factor, but wide receiver-wise, that's what I'm going to be paying really close attention to. That's the biggest question for me. And not necessarily question as far as is it a negative, just I'm anxious to see how it's going to play out. Who's going to be the guy that steps up and makes the big plays?
My guess, my gut's telling me on the running backs, it might be different week 1 to week 5.
Yes.
Or I just think it might, and hey, injuries happen, right? It's a physical position. You're going to take a beating at that spot because of really good defensive players in this league. So you better have some depth, and I think we do have some depth. So I'm really anxious to get that, see how that looks. And I'm with you on the wide receivers. Can't wait to watch that group perform on Saturday. Nebraska 811 says, go dig red. Before you dig, always call or click 811 to have your utility lines marked. It's free. It's easy. It's the law. Back with more Sports Nightly, 402-413-2400. All that coming up next.
The game isn't just about winning or losing. It's about the snacks they share after they've used up all their energy in the field. It's the early morning practice before school and staying late after to get a couple more kicks in. It's the pride they feel for their team and the determination to always keep improving. Sure, the game isn't always about winning or losing, but when they've won the big game and celebration is in full swing, there's only one thing left for you to do. Get them home safe. Buckle up and back. Paid for by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2021 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. It will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive. It'll get you off the beaten path with 8.7 inches of ground clearance, more than Toyota RAV4 or Honda Passport. It's the best Outback ever. The 2021 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you. Comparison based on competitor information from manufacturer websites as of July 2020. Visit Beardmore Subaru in Bellevue or at beardmoresubaru.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm journalism student Grace Fitzgibbon with Campus News. A new grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture is supporting Husker research in the study of multi-robot systems in ag settings. The almost $500,000 grant was awarded through the USDA's National Institute of Food and Agriculture to Professor Santosh Pitla. Pitla and his team will use the funds to further their research in the use of unmanned ground vehicles and drones on the farm.
Husker fans, the 2021 athletic season marks the beginning of mobile tickets for Husker sporting events. Tickets and parking passes for all sports will be available for download in your ticket account on the official Huskers app. It's a safe and easy way to guarantee your entry into some of the most exciting sporting events around. Simply download your ticket from your ticket account or the Huskers app and save to your mobile phone wallet before you leave home. Scan at the gate and enjoy the game. Go Big Red! Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Score a game-winning drive when you buy your next vehicle at Sid Dillon Chevrolet. As a Chevrolet Business Elite dealer, we offer commercial vehicles, including medium-duty trucks and low-cab forwards. Whatever vehicle fits your needs, we're here to make the purchase process easy. Visit our Chevy locations in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo. Plus, shop our full inventory at SidDillonChevy.com.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
Chevy, find new roads.
You already got the hat, the jersey, maybe even the occasional red and white face paint. So kick things off right this season and add the FNBO Husker Visa debit card to the list. Pay loud and proud for every Husker decal, t-shirt, or hot dog at the game. Wear your heart on your sleeve and in your wallet with the Husker Visa debit card, free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
We're back. Final few minutes of our Wednesday night Sports Nightly show here on the Huskers Radio Network. We're in our radio broadcast center, sponsored by Acres Equipment, Nebraska's premier John Deere dealer. 27 locations across Nebraska and into Kansas. Acres solutions for every field. 402-413-2400, the number if you want to dot us up with a comment or question. I had this in the ticker. The Baltimore Orioles are in line to lose their 20th straight game, which would be a big league record. How about that?
Wow.
20 straight games in Major League Baseball. That's pathetic.
Yeah, that's really bad.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because not everybody cares about every game, and you can't figure out how to win one game. And
big league players, how do you not do? That's just crazy. That is a mind-boggling thing. Dennis on our text line. Nebraska holds Illinois running pretty much. What do you think of their passing game? Is it fair or good? It's fair. Brandon Peters, experienced quarterback for Illinois. This is the third time Nebraska will play Peters as the Illinois starting quarterback. He's only like a 53% completion percentage guy, and he'll find your he'll find your jersey a couple times in game. He'll give you a chance to get a pick. So, yeah, I think and I go back to a comment I made in the last segment, if Nebraska can limit the running game of Illinois and try to make them pass, then I like our chances a lot.
That's what Bielema was saying about him, that he's got an NFL-type arm. He can make all the throws, but does it go to the right person? So if you can rattle him, make him make some mistakes for sure, absolutely. But supposedly he's got the arm and he's been, more consistent, but we'll see it on game day if that's the case.
He was terrific here against Nebraska last year, and you're like, come on, where's the guy that I watch week in and week out? He was making a lot of great throws. So he had a really hot day. And I know I'm a little skewed by last year's game, but Nebraska turned the ball over 5 times in that game that led to 24 points. You're not going to beat anybody doing that. So, obviously, if Nebraska doesn't take better care of the ball than that, you're going to lose. And I do think Nebraska will take better care of the football this year. So that's obviously a huge key week in and week out is, do you turn the ball over or not? But you turn it over 5 times and you don't get any, you got no chance. Right?
Yeah, I mean, and it's, as much as there's been so much talk, that's probably been one of the number one things that have been emphasized.
No doubt.
Is the turnovers, taking care of it. Don't shoot yourself in the foot. So, it's definitely being addressed. And so if they can take care of the ball, I mean, I think Nebraska has the best chance to win this game. You just got to take care of the football.
Huskers, again, about a touchdown favorite. People keep asking, are you and I going to pick? I don't pick. If you want to, you can pick, Jessica. I just don't. I'm not comfortable picking Nebraska's game score. I don't know the upside of that, particularly in the weeks that I don't like our chances. Then people get mad at me because they're like, you don't think we can win? Well, I mean, that's why I just.
Kirkstreet doesn't pick his games. There you go.
Thank you. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Appreciate that. If it's good enough for Herbie, then it's good enough for me. Let's go to the phones. Cody joined us next from down in Kansas. Good evening, Cody. Welcome to the program.
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Good. I don't know if you guys talked about this. I just chimed in kind of late this stream. I'll probably go back and watch it. The topic I wanted to talk about, especially being that we're going against a new coaching staff, would be the inability, or it feels like to me when I'm watching a game, I feel like we start good and then people adjust to us, but we lack the adjustment back to them sometimes, either through a quarter or through a half, or sometimes it takes till the fourth quarter. And going against a team that we don't know what they're doing at all, kind of, sort of, I want to know what your guys' thoughts are as far as the coaches being able to make adjustments and where they could possibly take the team. Say we hit a wall in the second quarter like we seem like we do. I don't know. I haven't seen development coaching-wise to see adjustments that counter those adjustments.
All right. Thanks, Cody. Appreciate the call. I think, last year, I'm just going to the last game Nebraska played. It was Rutgers. They were losing at half, and they came roaring back to win. The last time we were in Champaign, Nebraska was down twice by 14 points, came back to win. So I don't know that it's a fair assessment to say that we don't adjust, but you're correct. And it goes back to what Jessica was just saying. Because we're facing a brand new staff, we really are shooting in the dark about what they're going to do. So we're definitely going to have to adjust as the game goes on.
Yeah, and I think as far as, the players are older, they're, it's just a different mindset. We heard JoJo talking about last night. It's a different attitude. It's a different feel. And the players, Tori was talking about this yesterday, that it's kind of being player-led a lot. So if things aren't going right, the players are stepping in. And that is just critical to when a team kind of, on those types of situations that he's just talking about, figuring out how to make things happen. The coaches can't just tell you to do it. The players have got to go out there and get it done. So the fact that the players are kind of taking ownership on this a little bit more, I think bodes well in those types of situations, that you got a guy, the leadership like Austin Allen and Cam Taylor-Britt, making sure that the players are, they're the ones that get it done on the field. And I think they have the guys now on that field that can handle those types of situations a little bit better maybe than in the past.
Very good. All right, that's going to put a bow on tonight's show. Tomorrow night, we'll hear from the head coach. He'll meet with the media tomorrow after practice. We might even let you listen into a little snippet of the latest podcast with Jeremiah Searles.
How about Jake Myers, by the way?
Jake Myers, game-winning hit today. Good stuff for him. And our football show tomorrow night. Come join us. Good night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
When you're ready to pursue a career-building college degree, go with the school you know and trust, the University of Nebraska. And if you need the flexibility, convenience, and affordability of an online degree program, you can go online with the University of Nebraska. With courses developed specifically for the online learner by our 4 regionally accredited NU campuses, it's a valuable online education for your very real-world future. Go to online.nebraska.edu to learn more.
There's no better way to support your Huskers than becoming a season ticket holder. And a limited number of Nebraska football season tickets are on sale now. Secure your seat in Memorial Stadium for head coach Scott Frost's 4th season at the helm as the Huskers play host to Buffalo, Michigan, Ohio State, Iowa, and more. Now is your chance to become part of the storied tradition that is Husker football. To purchase season tickets, call 1-800-8-BIG-RED.
Did you know that cigarette butts make up a large portion of microplastics in the ocean, which end up in 70% of seabirds and 30% of sea turtles? Bank of the West is helping to solve this problem by not financing big tobacco, proving that what a bank chooses not to finance can be just as important as what it does. Learn more about what we do and don't finance at bankofthewest.com/change. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is the place to watch Nebraska games this season. Locally owned and operated, Addie's is Omaha's premier sports bar with 4 locations in Elkhorn, Maple Street, downtown, and the OG location in Millard. If it's Husker game day, it's on at Addie's. Addie's Sports Bar and Grill is Omaha's official watch party spot with game day giveaways, prizes, fun, and more